Ladies and gents, let us now analyze each individual graph from 1 to 6 to determine which one matches each of the given three cases. Right. So we're given three cases that we need to see. Let's look at the first graph. On the first graph, A is what? A is positive because we're facing up. On the second graph, A is negative because we're facing down. On the third graph, A is positive because we are facing up. On the fourth graph, A is negative because we're facing down. On the fifth one, A is negative because we're facing down. A is negative because we're facing down, right? Now let's come with C. If you check on the second graph, C is equals to 0 because the y-intercept is exactly on the origin. Also the second one, C equals to 0. The third one, C is positive because it's above, it's on the positive y-axis. So C is a positive number. Also here, C will be a positive number. Here, C will be a negative number. Or C is less than 0. Then here, C is passing through the origin, so C is 0. Right. Now let's talk about the discriminant. On the first graph, the discriminant equals to 0 because we're touching the x-axis only once. Also, the second one, C is equals to 0 because we're touching the x-axis only once. On this one, delta, it's less than 0 because we do not touch the x-axis at all. And then here we touch the x-axis twice, so delta will be bigger than 0. Here delta would be less than 0 because we do not touch the x-axis at all. Here delta would be bigger than 0 because we touch twice. So delta, when you touch once, you have equal roots, so it touches once. Right now, let's see. The first graph best matches M. Do you see it? Because A is bigger than 0 and we have a delta of 0. So the first graph matches M. Then the second graph, let's see. The second graph, we're looking for A less than 0. And then we're also looking for C equals to 0. Right? We're also looking for delta equals to 0. So we have delta equals to 0. And then we don't have C equals to 0 on our options. We also we don't have anything that best matches this, basically. So number 2 doesn't match anything. So we leave that. So M matches with I. And then let's check number 3. We're looking for A bigger than 0, right? We're looking for C bigger than 0. And then delta less than 0. If we check, they meet the conditions on N. The third graph meets the conditions on N. So the third graph will be N. Let's check the fourth graph. The fourth graph, we have A less than 0, which can go with the first one. C bigger than 0, which can go with the second one. But the delta is also bigger than 0. So that matches no options. And then, ladies and gents, also here, this one here, the first one, negative B over 2A is equals to 0 because we're turning on the y-axis. So the ones that turns on the y-axis, negative B over 2A will be 0. Also this one, negative B over 2A equals to 0. This one is not because we're not turning on the y-axis, and also that one is not, that one is not. Okay, let's check the fourth one. The fourth graph. The fourth graph, we're looking for A less than 0, which is none of our options. We're looking for C bigger than 0. C bigger than 0 is on the second one. And then we're looking for delta bigger than 0, which is here. And then we're looking for negative B over 2A equals to 0. So 4 matches best with O. Okay. let's erase and start again. Right. Okay, now let's do 5. On 5, we have a less than 0, which matches with this. We have delta less than 0, which matches with that. And then we have c less than 0, which matches with no option because c less than 0 is not there. So none best represent 5. Let's check 6. So 6, let me erase. So we have a less than 0, which is this one. We have delta bigger than 0, which is that one. We have c equals to 0, which is none of the options. So those ones are out. Now we can easily see that this one best matches with 1. This one best matches with 3. And then this one best matches with IV. That makes sense. IV matches with O, II matches with N, 1 matches with M. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Tango.